release of President Barr and Prime Minister Magda following reports that they were detained by soldiers. And now, thanks for joining us here on Newsbeat. First in the bulletin, Secretary to Kate Mining Company Limited, Yeboah Asante, alleges that the mining concession is being targeted by some bigwigs over how rich the land is in gold. This comes after the Operation Halt Task Force for a third time set their offices ablaze in their bid to clamp down on illegal miners. He made the revelation plus allegations of abuse of security officers at the mine in an interview with Metro News.
The first day they came and burned the place, she was like, oh, you let them do whatever they want. But the second time and the third time, she busted into tears because, you know, it's a very huge investment. It's a very huge investment. The excavator we bought, it was about around 80 million. We used almost 1 year to buy it. And somebody used about 5 minutes to burn a whole machine. It was around 18 billion OCDs. There are 5 other mining concessions there. We are not the only mining company there, but we are the biggest. We have about 250 acre land that we are doing the mining on it. We came there, it's about 1.5 years now. We are still at the place. But why? Because they went to this mining other mining sectors, they match all of them. They pack all their machines, then they come and pack it in town without burning even a pin there. So why is it, Kate? Because the land that we are mining on, the land is very fertile in gold. It is very rich in gold. So there are people who want to extract the land from market, but this is not the best way. This is not the best way. If you want to retrieve something from somebody, you have to use the legal way. You have to pass through the legal way. About 150 journalists have come to the place to inspect our activities there. And throughout our mining, we are being coached by so many organizations. The NADMO used to come there, the Mineral Commission used to come there, the police, the assembly members. So there are checks and balances there. We are not just doing anything like that. All the place that we have dug, all the pit that we have dug, we used to fill all of them because the duty of the dozer is to refill the pit we have dug. So anything we do, we are legally registered company which we are supposed to do the mining. So if it's not unintentional, then there might be something wrong somewhere, because the directive that were given to the president that they should match it with what is going on at the mining site. It's not what they did at our site. They just came without inspecting anything. They didn't go to the site, because the minister came there in a helicopter, inspected the place, and people were saying we are mining beside water. We are not mining in the water, even beside the water. Right now, the president is not in the country, so she doesn't want to take any action that will go against the party or go against some individuals in the country. So she's just looking up to some things before she'll come out and say something. There is nothing like mistake there on our side, because if what the directive the president has given is what they should use, then we fall out of all the brouhaha that is what coming out. So we are just waiting for the president to give directive as to how we should do the mining. So if you have anything or any legal action we want to take, then, because for the machines, we need our machines back, because it's not a small money, and we didn't raise that amount in just a jiffy. It was a long process, because Kate started mining around 23 years ago, and she's still mining. So it's not the MPP time or the MPP era, which that's why Kate is mining. Kate started mining about 23 years ago. We've been to Chebi, we've been to Kwabin, and we are in Pamin now. So it's not the MPP. So if people are saying it's because of MPPs in power, that's why she's mining, no, it's not like that.
Three persons, including a 2-year-old boy, have died in a tanker explosion on Monday, May 24, 2021, at about 1:30 p.m. at Onyinanufu community in the Havano Southwest District of the Ashanti region. 7 others also sustained severe degrees of injuries and are receiving treatment at the hospital, and many others rendered homeless. The incident happened when a fuel tanker lost control and veered off the street onto the village and exploded in the process. There is more in the following report filed by Metro News Ashanti regional correspondent Abdel Basit Suleiman, read to you.
According to eyewitness account, the fuel tanker, which was from Kumasi heading to Tepa, was overspeeding, and upon reaching Onyini community, its driver lost control of the wheel and veered off and rammed into another car. The car overturned and caught fire, which swept through the community, burning several houses. The driver, his conductor, and a toddler who was sleeping in one of the houses were burnt to death. Several houses were touched, rendering several inhabitants homeless. 7 other persons who sustained various degrees of injuries have been hospitalized. Elder Kweku Asare is an eyewitness and shared his account.
The boss is on Timmy and Dodge, and what the boss ceremony who the top forest more. And a tanker also be she. They are Mehatakukono.
Personnel from the Ghana National Fire Service were at the scene together with police and NADMO to bring the situation under control. The district fire officer from Ahafwano North District, who led the firefighting process, told the media how the situation was brought under control.
When we got here, we could see that the tanker and other houses were on fire. So upon our assessment, what we had to do is that we try to check the spread, try to prevent other buildings that have not been involved in fire. So that's the strategy we used, to try to check the spread. After that, we came back to cool the tanker, and as you can see, the situation is under control now.
The Director General of the National Disaster Management Organization, Nana Ajiman Prempe, assured residents of his outfit's commitment to provide relief items for the victims as soon as possible and also provide temporary shelter for the displaced.
People have been rendered homeless. We don't have hostels and hotels here. So we're looking at classrooms and the church buildings. The assembly, the DC is here. He's going back to the district capital to arrange for some mosquito nets and some blanket for them. I have called NADMO headquarters. They are also arranging to get some mattresses and other things. By tomorrow morning, they will also be here.
Abdul Basit's report for Metro News.
And so on the back of this report, we'll be speaking to the National Communication Director, George A.C., as to how the report so far really is. And before that, let's move on to other stories where drivers have been sternly reprimanded against driving at a breakneck speed, which has the potential to put passengers' lives at risk. The Upper East Regional Planning Manager for the National Road Safety Authority, Sharif Apia, who addressed newsmen in Bolgatanga after the authority conducted some pre-departure checks at the main lorry terminals in Bolgatanga, said drivers had gained notoriety in breaching road traffic regulations. Here is a report filed by our regional correspondent, Francis Dagban. Read to you.
The National Road Safety Authority, led by the planning manager, engaged leadership of the Ghana Private Road Transport Union (GPRTU) in the region before they set forth to embark on the exercise. Apia says it is very lamentable and heartbreaking for the country to record a total of 1,034 deaths in the first quarter of the year, saying the development calls for an all-out effort to tackle it head-on. According to him, the National Road Safety Authority in the region will undertake routine checks to ensure all cars traveling to long distances are in stable state before they are allowed to ply the road.
If you are in a vehicle and we are approaching the rainy season and your wipers are destroyed, your lights, headlights, you are about to move at this time of the day, you are going to Kumasi and your headlights, your tail lights are not working. It only proves or shows to us that you don't take the lives of your passengers seriously. So it becomes a bit disappointing because you see, we cannot be here forever. We cannot be here every day. Until the drivers begin to understand that what we are doing is targeted at saving the lives of people, then we will end at nothing.
He also enjoined passengers to fix their seatbelts before a vehicle takes off, since that can mitigate the high rate of casualty and fatalities when an accident occurs.
Those who manufacture the car, they have made these hammers. You see, they are hammer, emergency hammer. So in case anything happens in the car, you are in the car, the one that is near, reach out for the hammer and hit the glass with it. Bust the window with it, so that you create space for you to jump out of the car. There are two, you can see them. So that's the use of it. It's not there for fun.
A road safety campaigner, Andani Zibrim underscores the need for passengers to remind drivers to observe all road traffic regulations, stating a further increase in road crashes will defeat the object of the agenda. Arrive Alive campaign by the National Road Safety Authority.
Please, let's all try our possible best not to sleep in the car. Because one thing is that if you are sitting by your colleague, you observe, if the person is dozing and you look at the person, the next thing you also do is to doze. Our drivers, as they are moving, that's why they give those movies for you to be watching. And we sleep. Immediately people are sleeping in the car, the drivers sometimes also feel dozing. And what you should do is, if you realize that the driver is tired, please don't insist that the driver must go.
And now, the Ministry of Roads and Highways, in partnership with the European Union, have cut short for the rehabilitation and maintenance of about 670 kilometers of feeder and farm access routes under the European Union Ghana Agriculture Program in the Upper West region. The project is expected to benefit 8 farming districts along the Black Volta, aimed at improving interconnectivity between areas of production and marketplaces. Metro News Upper West Regional Correspondent Adams Musa reports, read to you.
The intervention aims at improving interconnectivity between areas of production and marketplaces in the Upper West region. The objective is to reduce the travel time on these sections of roads, promote road safety, and strengthen at the same time the institutional management of the transport sector. The feeder roads are commissioned under output and performance-based road contractors managed by the Department of Feeder Roads under the Ministry of Roads and Highways. To maximize the support intervention, the EU funding is administered under a trust fund administered by the World Bank as a part of the Transport Sector Improvement Project, which finances a large national transport program. Addressing the gathering, the Minister of Roads and Highways, Kwesi Amoakwata, said the project will span for 42 months and 8 municipal and districts across the Upper West region will benefit, and selected roads leading to the Black Volta and existing dam sites for irrigation activities will be rehabilitated.
The road component under the EU Ghana Agriculture Program in 8 municipal and districts spread across the Upper West region of the Republic of Ghana. The primary aim of the roads program is to support the broad objective of the Ghana Agriculture Program by providing all-weather access of transportation to the various markets and value chain within the selected areas in the Upper West region.
The Deputy Head of Mission, European Union, Peter Van Gilder, indicated that the project is output performance-based road contract, which will not focus on the construction but the maintenance culture in lump sum contracts. Hence, payments are based on achieving the performance target.
Not only to the road works contract doesn't only focus on the construction work, but also...
Latest epistles, the former Attorney General alleged that Madam Ekufu, Director of Public Prosecution Yvonne Atakra, after pursuing the police docket, came to the conclusion that some of the suspects should not be charged. So I've been joined in studio by my colleague Annie Efua Ampofu to take us through what exactly is coming in from Martin Amidu. Annie.
Right, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Right, so briefly, just as you said, Martin Amidu, from a 6-page episode that he released, he indicated that on the 17th of May, he heard a discussion on Oman FM, and I read that line and said that I was being blamed for the government's inability to prosecute the members of as a criminal investigations department of the police service put in false, infantile, and barefaced lies intentionally concocted to put out the Office of Attorney General to the unsuspecting public under the subheading Godfred Yeboah Dame. So this is for the Attorney General's office. Now let's move to the Office of the President. And he's trying to say that the President is always usurping powers. So he says, the credible information I received on the case is in a case was that then the then Attorney General and the Director of Public Prosecutions had both perused the case docket and had come to the conclusion that the charges be filed against some of the suspects for prosecution. The Attorney General was instructed not to do so by the President's unconstitutionally usurped and investigatory and prosecuted constitutional authority of the Attorney General on grounds of political expediency of having the suspect agreeable to play ball in Parliament for the government. Now he goes on to say, this view is consistent with a clear unconstitutional usurpation of the independent exercise of prosecutorial discretion of the Attorney General by President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo in the response to a question asked by Kweku Deru of Kingdom FM on the government's fight against corruption on the 13th of December 2029, particularly the prosecution of the double salary and other criminal cases. So the President unconstitutionally assumed the status of the Attorney General of Ghana and shockingly said, inter alia, on the members of Parliament double salary cases follows. Now, let me just quickly add this. It says that the President's response to the media encounter on the 13th of December 2019 is the first time I ever heard in my life a President unashamedly and publicly usurping an independent prosecutorial constitutional discretion of the Attorney General. So, Bright, I don't know if you want me to add this in conclusion.
Yeah.
Because, yes, this is now the office of Tiwa Addo Dankwa because the case was in her office or on her table. The members of Parliament double salary case broke out when I had not been considered for the approval as the special prosecutor, and case was immediately entrusted to the care of the then, listen to this phrase, of the then darling, yes, of the then darling, the CID, of the then darling Deputy Commissioner of Police Criminal Investigations Department of the Ghana Police Head Office, Mrs. Mami Tiwa Addo Dankwa. As the Daily Guide Network reported, the CID in April 2018 said the double salary saga is contrary to Section 124 Clause 1 of the Criminal and Other Offences Act 1960 Act 29, as amended in the 2012 Act 849. So Section 124 relates to the offences of stealing.
Parliament has resumed sitting following a one-month break. The House is considering some bills, including the Petroleum Management Bill and the Exemptions Bill. Let's cross over to Parliament right now as my colleague Abdullah Mohammed joins us with a live feed and a report. Abdullah.
Can you hear me?
Yes. So what can you report?
So like you rightly said, Parliament is resuming sitting today following a 1.5 month break. And the commencement of the first session of the 8th Parliament just started some few minutes ago. And like you said earlier, some of the bills that are tabled for consideration during this session include the Ghana Standards Authority Bill, the Exemptions Bill, the Consumer Protection Bill, the Petroleum Revenue Management Amendment Bill 2021, and the Advertising Council Bill 2021. Now, Parliament is resuming after what many consider as a turbulently productive first session of the 8th Parliament. You will recall the events, the regrettable events that led to the dissolution of the 7th Parliament and the inauguration of the 8th. As members of the minority side still insist there needs to be a bipartisan investigation into the events that led into the invasion of Parliament by military men during the eve of the swearing-in of the 8th session of Parliament. So as I speak, the Speaker of Parliament is currently addressing the parliamentarians who have shown up after that long break. Indeed, he has taken time to explain to them the communications that he has received from the presidency in terms of the international trip that the president has embarked on. You would know that per the 1992 Constitution, the president is mandated to update the Speaker, the Parliament, through Speaker, on his international trip and what he intends to go and do and other related matters. So as we speak, the Speaker is currently addressing the House. We also expect that the budget performance report in respect to the Ministry of Youth and Sports will also be presented to the House. We also expect a motion for debate will be debated by the Speaker in this meeting, and the Appointment Committee of Parliament is also expected to commence its public hearing to vet the President's nominees for the Minister of State deputy ministerial positions, which were earlier mentioned by the Speaker when the session commenced. The Public Accounts Committee is also expected to hold its public hearings and to examine reports from the Auditor General's Department and other related matters. Other select committees of Parliament are also expected to begin sitting today. So as I speak, the Speaker is currently acting on. Earlier, there was a press conference by the ranking member on the Roads and Highways Committee, Governor Agboja, who is also the member of Parliament for Adaplu. And he actually raised concerns about the recent press conference done by the roads with regard to the 6,000-kilometer road network that the minister pointed out that government had, been able to execute. According to him, some of the figures that the minister brandished in that press conference were false, and government is actually just put on figures to support its incompetence in terms of managing the road sector in Ghana. So these are some of the issues that have occupied, our parliamentarians as the second meeting of the 8th session of the parliament has just begun. So we'll give you details, but before that, let's cross over to the House now for excerpts of the Speaker's statement.
The vetting committee has begun doing background checks on nominated Special Prosecutor Kisei Jabin. What can you...
An individual who has took quite a number of laurels in terms of his achievements in his legal professional life.
All right,
so
Thank you for this report. But we now cross over to the House, to the floor, where Speaker of Parliament Alban Gbagben is addressing members of the House.
Let's have a fruitful meeting that will inure to the benefit of the citizens of our beloved country. With this, I thank you so much for your attention. Honourable members, item 3. Correction of votes and proceedings and official reports. I have a copy of the votes and proceedings of Tuesday, 30th March 2021, and a copy of the official report of Wednesday, 3rd March 2021. We will start with the votes and proceedings. Page 1.
And so our parliamentary correspondent Abdullah Mohammed will come back with more details of what exactly is happening in Parliament as it is back from their recess. A very quick time when we come back, there will be more news here with us. Stay with us.
Need a little help? Nobody does it better. At UCS Facility Management, we give you the best in janitorial services, which include high-rise window cleaning, office cleaning, post-construction cleaning, facade washing, deep cleaning, carpet cleaning, swimming pool cleaning, and event janitorial services. Locate us at Jowolu, JA Plant Pool premises, or call us on 0501-666-322 or 0203-299-212 or 0203-299-234. UCS, your property is under our care.
As a mother and wife, My priority is making sure my family is protected at all times. That is why I never forget to give my angel a Flora disposable handkerchief to keep germs and sweat at bay. When Habi is out in the field, I'm rest assured of Flora coming in handy anytime he needs it. Even when my daughter Na is out late, I am confident Flora disposable handkerchief will be close enough to save the moment. Flora disposable handkerchiefs are my go-to disposable handkerchiefs any day, anytime, and everywhere. Flora disposable handkerchiefs is affordable and handy. Flora, better than cloth handkerchiefs. Flora is a product of Delta Paper Mill Limited. For inquiries and bulk purchases, call 0243 033 033.
Lawful wedded wife to having to hold from this day forward?
I do.
I knew it.
How much drama can you enjoy? See it feely with HD Plus. Get the best companion for your HD TV with HD Plus. Dial *879# to activate and enjoy the first 2 months for free.
Welcome back. And now, vetting for new MMDCEs is ongoing across the country. In the Greater Accra region, a panel led by the Regional Minister, Henry Quartey, has vetted 5 candidates for the position of the Accra Metropolitan Chief Executive. The 5 candidates are Elizabeth Kwecho Saki, Mohammed J. Sowa, Reginald Nibi Ayibonti, and Nathaniel Ni Achele Nati, and also Archibald Matthew. Let's now delve into what exactly the profiles of these persons are, and I'm going to see them on your screens very soon. We are starting with Mohammed J. Sowa. Behind me is Mohammed J. Sowa, a social entrepreneur with over 23 years experience, and the current chief executive of the Accra Metropolitan Area, appointed in 2017, former Greater Accra Regional Secretary of the New Patriotic Party (NPP). Elizabeth Kwecho Saki. Saki is a banker and an economist, immediate past Deputy Minister for Greater Accra, and 3-time Member of Parliament for Okankwe North in Accra. Nathaniel is here. He is an educationist and counsellor, member International Council of Drug Abuse and Addiction, and also member Fraternity Police State of Delaware, USA. And Reginald is also here. He's a lawyer, prince of the Bese traditional area, former member of Parliament for Odododio constituency, is also on the run to become the next MMDCE for the Greater Accra region. And so, party unequally qualified for the municipal chief executive position. They thus do not see the reason why they should be denying of such position of someone unfamiliar with the traditional and cultural system of the municipality. The elders are set to hold a press conference on Tuesday to plead with government to take immediate steps to rescind from any decision of giving Teshi people an MCE of a different tank. And this is on the back of the Teshi Council of Elders having kicked against what they purport to be effort to make a non-indigenous municipal chief executive of Teshi. In a press release signed by the Council Secretary Paul Soa, the elders stressed that a future municipal chief executive must be an indigene of Teshie. According to the elders, Teshie is very much known to be critical in traditional matters, and the municipal assembly cannot work in isolation without the traditional authorities, and therefore suggest for someone who understands Teshie traditional matters and the people living within the municipality to foster cohesion, unity and development within the town. The elders are advocating for someone that can easily relate with and have easy communication with the people. They believe they are able men and women of Gadangbe descent within the municipality that also belong to the NPP and deserve to be given that position. And now we've been joined in studio by Ni Amate, a socio-political analyst for a critical analysis of the MMDC's contest, particularly as the situation is in Accra. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
And good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
So the vetting of the new MMDCs is currently ongoing across country, yes. And there's stiff competition. Yes. People calling for indigenes to be made the MMDC, and others are going for otherwise. What do you make of this?
It's the usual thing where you have people lobbying, so their colleagues or people they feel can do the job should be taken on. And I am not surprised at the way it's going. For instance, in Panokro, you have the unit committee chairman telling the TAFO unit to steer clear of politics because he cannot decide who should be their MMDCE. And then if you take a trip to Bono region, you have Mr. Apia, who is also calling on the president to make the current MDCE the person to still continue because he's done so well. In all of these, you have people kicking against it. If you come to Accra here, you find out that all the persons that had been mentioned are people with the caliber to do the good job. If you talk of Nibia Ibunte, he's been there. He was once a parliamentarian. He knows his job and is a lawyer, an engineer, and a very good teacher at a JHS and SS level. If you take on the current person, he is also good. He's done his job, but in all of these, people sit back to critique your weaknesses and to throw dust at you to be sure that you're not doing the right thing and therefore you should be replaced. And that is why you find all these persons being thrown on board and their supporters arguing for them to be. If you pick Kwacho Saki, she's also a very good material. So all of them are very good and they could do the job. But what is lacking is for people to push across their qualities rather than pulling others down for others to be put there. And the thing is, whatever material you put there, if the government does not take care of the resources and the government doesn't take care of the things that are supposed to be done before these people are taken there, they'll still face the same weaknesses and the same problems. Look, as I speak to you, the MDCs are very much under-resourced. If you take a look at the fact that they are not even independent, all manner of interferences are roped in so that the people are not able to do the job effectively. Partisan ideas are being thrown in, and then you have a situation where you are not in control of your budget, and therefore you are inefficient. You cannot do. So there are too many things in there that the government should do in order to make the place a very good place for people to be able to operate effectively. As it stands now, people are calling for their members to be put in there. But you put a person in there and the place is ill-resourced. So how does the person work? And that's why I think they are not looking at the actual problem, but rather looking at their selfish interest and pushing across for their people to be put there. Can we look at the Teshie issue?
Yes, let's come back to Greater Accra.
Right. Greater Accra, and specifically looking at the Teshie issue, I feel quite disappointed. Being a Ga, I don't think the Teshie people are doing the right thing. I want to believe that we look at the quality of the person and we push the person there to help us achieve a certain end. You do not decide on the basis of tribal lines who becomes a certain leader in a certain faction. What they are doing is dangerous. If it is a case of strictly royal business and they are talking that way, I think I want to support them. But this is Ghana, and anybody who is qualified to do the job should be helped to go there to help out. Didn't Kwame Nkrumah become the parliamentarian for Ododo Diodos, Accra Central? Didn't we have a scenario of us when we were in Legon? We supported Haruna Idrisu.
So it doesn't really matter who comes.
It doesn't matter. Didn't Obama become the president of America? Did they look at, I mean, what we are doing, and we stand back and condemn to a larger extent what's happening in America, saying no, this should not happen. But we are doing it on a smaller scale and on a smaller level. It's not the best. Ghanaians should be given the push to help Ghana. It should not be done on tribal lines, and I don't like it.
Let's now look at what is happening at the Ododo constituency.
Yeah.
We have the immediate past Deputy Minister for Greater Accra and a former Member of Parliament for Ododo, who is also in the race, Chief Executive on Adinkra Multimedia in the Akan language.
Swali, when I condemn Anas, Omwa Kazakwe Omudi, Onipana Okunu wa Ashanti region. Police for Nankasa na brief me. So honorable, we know what the way is exonerated now. Minimum why this thing happened to stay away a day. But me say, how do I stay away when Anas Kromfo within me sir mention my name? Up to a extent, a congressman report to me. Yes. I'm a me do Houston in 2019 November. Almost stop me. Say me na makukum ameswali. That's the report. Now you have the report. You know. Na niya ya wo muni say. Omu ka kire me say, me nya butre. Na akwanu your friend Ansu Jiabo and mu ye privilege. Mu ye privilege. You are the first. A shame bufuo. Me say Okumase, your friend Ansu Jiabo. Omu ka say Okum ameswan. Yes. You are privileged. Make Ansu Jiabo. Ansu Jiabo. Yes. Yes, Ansu Jiabo. Ana police phone.
And so we apologize for the poor visual quality there, but coming in from Kennedy, Japan, he's mentioning Ansu Jiabo, the suspect who actually murdered journalist Swali. And so he's saying that he was given information by the police, and he's giving it first hand to the radio station. We come back to that. Now, away from that, today is Africa Union Day. It is the annual commemoration of the founding of the Organization of African Unity, OA.
The COVID-19 pandemic having piled pressure on the African economy. Only last week, Democratic Republic of Congo's president, Felix Tshisekedi, who is also the current head of the African Union, alongside a dozen of other African heads of states, concluded a summit in Paris, where they argued, among other issues, for an increase in the special drawing rights from $33 billion to $100 billion. The SDR, used sparingly, gives member countries also has a dispute with Sudan and Egypt concerning its dam on the Nile River's main tributary. Mali's joined.
And now joining us via Zoom to talk more about the African Union Day is Professor Mobochi, head of the Department of History, University of Cape Coast, and a Pan-Africanist. Hello and welcome to this bit, sir.
Hello, good afternoon.
So, what does the EU celebration mean to you as an African?
Good afternoon again. I would say that it's a time for me to reflect about the African journey so far. From the time that African countries started to proclaim independence, with Nkrumah saying that the black man was capable of managing his her own affairs today. And I consider it a blessing that a day has been set aside for me as a person to think about the African journey. If you really want me to go in there, then I will tell you what I think about the African journey so far.
All right, so 58 years after the outfit was brought into establishment, what exactly have we achieved? And celebrating the day today, is it worth it?
It is worth it because it is an opportunity for us to be truthful to ourselves. Now, not much has been achieved in terms of our effort to create a new African, one who is free from colonial mentality and one who has the power to define and one who has the ability for self-determination.
All right, thank you, Professor De Valera Butchie. We'll be coming to you for more on subsequent news bulletins. And so he joined us to talk about AU Day, being celebrated today, 58 years. What have we achieved as a continent? There's more after this break here on This Beat. Stay with us.
Optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally. X Natural Mineral Water. Simply natural.
Welcome back. And now in business, the president of the Ghana Union Traders Association, Dr. Joseph Obeng, has described the visit of Nigeria delegation to Ghana by the end of the month as unnecessary. He said the visit should not exert pressure on government to abandon trade laws that protect petty traders in Ghana. This comes on the back of the ongoing trade feud between Ghana and some foreign nationals over retail trade in Ghana.
Over the years, Ghanaians have battled the retail market space with foreign traders. This has resulted in the closure of some shops belonging to foreign traders by a task force instituted by the government and the leaders of Ghana Union of Traders Association. In view of this, Nigeria Minister for Trade and Investment, Niyi Adeboye, announced there will be a ministerial delegation to Ghana to make headway to the Ghana-Nigeria trade feud. But the president of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, Dr. Joseph Obeng, said the visit will not compel Ghana to change its trade laws.
Their coming here, once again, is not necessary. If they are coming here for other purposes or reasons apart from what we've been talking about, that's the trade feud with the Nigerians or enforcing our investment laws, then I would deem it as a complete harassment to the state of Ghana. We are a sovereign country and we have the right to enforce our sovereign laws. It doesn't lie on the purview of any country to come and teach us how to do to make our laws and enforce them. It is
And on the international front, the UN mission in Mali has demanded the immediate release of President Bah Ndao and Prime Minister Mokhtar following a report that they were detained by soldiers. This comes after a report that interim President Ndao and Prime Minister were driven by soldiers to the Kati military camp near the capital, Bamako. This raised fears of a second coup within a year in the country. Now, the country's defense minister has also reportedly been detained. The AU, the ECOWAS, the EU and US also condemned this arrest, saying Mali stopped down and Prime Minister Mokhtar following reports that they were detained by soldiers. And that's it for the news here. I am Bryson Akwesi. At 4 p.m. the Flash will be on. Have a good afternoon.
Metro TV.
And let's watch and listen to our stories. There will be so much to tell. Ghana is a truly beautiful country. Be Ghana, stay in Ghana, experience Ghana, make Ghana great. And we will invite the world to come and experience Ghana too. But for now, stay home. Brought to you by the National Film Authority. Supports the Stay Home and Discover Ghana Later campaign. This channel supports the campaign.
God bless our homeland, Ghana.
Metro TV. Insightful.
Oh, Wangene! Whoever that has done this to my daughter, they must never know peace in their lives.